Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I couldn't be happier today to have a very, very, very special guest that I'm actually getting to speak to for the second time. I can't remember if it was a year ago, 2 years ago. All I know is I'm thrilled that he's back. His name is Adam Avin, and he is the creator of Wuf Shanti. Now, I've never done this before. Adam, why don't you just say hello so they know you're here?
Hi, I'm here.
He's there. Okay. I have never read anybody's bio before. And how old are you now, Adam?
I'm 16 now.
16.
Yeah.
Same age as my Cooper. So I can't wait for Cooper to hear your bio. Very excited about this because Cooper is right there with all the wellness that you're talking about. So teen mental health education advocate Adam Avin created the Wuf Shanti Children's Wellness Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization to teach mindfulness, God, this is so good, and social emotional learning. So children 3 to 17 can live in health and wellness and peace and positivity. Just doesn't get better than this. Adam also founded the Kids Association for Mindfulness and Education and co-founded the International Online Mindful Kids Peace Summit. Adam is certified in Mindfulness Based Stress Reduction for teens, which I love. Kidding around yoga, love that too. And this is like all the things I love. And the emotion code. He also recently gave a TEDxYouth KC Talk about getting mindful and social emotional learning programs into our education system. I'm quite sure he's like, when is she going to be done? Well, your bio's long, Adam.
I know.
Okay? I love it. Why mental health education is so important to stopping the violence and using our voice to make a positive difference in the world. I've also never clapped for anybody that's been on the show. So proud of you. I can't even begin to tell you. So I want everybody to just listen to you. I already know your story. I've already watched the TEDx. I've already cried thinking about your grandfather. I already know. Not fair that everybody else doesn't. So I'm going to let you take it away. This is your show. And I've also never said that to anybody either. Go ahead.
All right, awesome. Thank you. So we started Wuf Shanti about 6 years ago. I was 9 years old, so almost 7 now. But about 6 years ago, my great grandpa passed away, and we just wanted to do something to honor him. He was a very mindful person, a yogi at heart. He had his positive mantras like "Think well to be well." It's on my shirt. It's on my hoodie here. Smile and the world will smile with you, and smile and say thank you. And we really just took those few mantras and built Wuf Shanti from there. And we made the first book. My granddog was a yoga instructor, and we've just grown so much. And now we have 7 books, 6 fiction, 1 nonfiction. We have all our YouTube videos. We're in the Children's Television Network, which is the channel inside of hospitals across the country, which is amazing. We're in Adventure to Learning, which is in 25,000 schools, and Kid Doodle TV as well. And we take the mascot to schools and children's hospitals to play with the kids and have fun and teach them about mindfulness. And the best part is that they don't know that they're actually learning mindfulness or socially emotional learning because it's fun and there's music and there's games, but they love Wuf Shanti and they love the dog character. I don't know if you can hear the thunder outside, but it's pouring.
No, I can't, but I love that it's happening.
It's very bad out, but I will keep going anyways. So yeah, it's all about helping people and making a difference and learning mindfulness and being present and being in the moment. And especially for a young kid, if they can grow up learning that, then hopefully they will carry that tool with them for the rest of their lives, and they'll learn how to be focused and be in the moment. And the song lyrics, you sing them over and over again, and they don't realize that they're learning mindfulness, but eventually they'll start singing over again, and hopefully it'll get into their head. So we try to teach things like that. I've grown so much. Becoming a teenager, we've expanded our curriculum to teenagers as well, because as I've grown up, I've seen that kids are very stressed and anxious in school. And we just want to do everything that we can to help. So we've expanded our curriculum, and we've just done so much in the past.
Yeah, you're killing it. AKA, you're killing it, Adam. You are killing it.
Thank you.
I am so excited. When I get excited, I get like, which question to ask first? So I loved what you said about your sister, how she was having a hard time one day, and it was probably about something little, right? And then you gave her this, you overheard what she was saying in another room or something. Can you tell everybody about that?
Yeah. So yeah. So if I think I know what you're referring to is in my TED talk, I gave a little story about my little sister got upset about something and was sad and was crying. She's 7 now, but at the time she was either 5 or 6, and she might get down on herself over these tiny things, but she's learned the tools just obviously from being in our house. We're Wuf Shanti, and she's picked up some of the tools like peace begins with me, or think well, be well, and she's learned these kind of tricks where she can close her eyes and kind of breathe for a second, and to see her do that, and to see my mom sit down with her and say, Sabrina, you gotta do this, you gotta calm yourself down. I think it's so cool, and she does mindful art and stuff, and colors to kind of calm herself down, and I think it's so cool that I get to kind of watch firsthand and see my little sister learn these tools and practice, and because it just shows like what we're teaching actually like does have an effect on a child, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and so does the Thunder thinks it's cool too. I just
Yeah, outside.
That's awesome. Like I said before, it makes for great TV. So okay, that is fantastic. I want to, because I have a 16-year-old stepson, and I've been with him since he was 3. So he's really only known me, and he has a biological mom, and we have a great relationship. And I've watched him progress through his years, right? And now as a teenager, and I own a media company, so I'm really liberal about how much he plays on his phone. Although, it's like you have to take care of your responsibilities first. Obviously, it's not something you should be doing all day. He runs 3 miles or bikes or exercises, so we're good there. But I'm quite sure it must have been difficult for you doing this. I know that you have interest in golf. I also know that like your teacher last minute made you do a test today. So like you have this life, you're a kid, you're a teenager, you're turning into a young man. So what has that progression been like for you starting this? And I'm quite sure you never knew that it would evolve into what it is today. How have you felt through the process?
God, well, I mean, 6 years, in the making, really, and I feel like we've kind of just been like getting started too. When we first started out, we started with a lot of yoga, a lot of meditation, with the dog character. And since we've grown, we've just grown to more mindfulness and social emotional learning, these bigger topics where yoga and meditation, all these tiny things might fit inside, but they're all kind of collective and they're all together. So being able to, as I've gotten older, obviously I've learned the proper terms, the proper language when I speak, when I go around to schools and I give presentations. So if I was 10 years old and you were telling me I was getting up in front of a group of 500 plus people to do a TEDx talk, I was like, there's no way, I'm the shyest kid. No way I'm doing that. But now I have no problem. After doing that, I have no problem.
Right.
But doing all these things and going to TED Talk, I might have to miss my school days sometimes to go to other schools to speak. And as much as I am a normal kid, and like you said, I'm a golfer. I love going out on the course, and I play basketball, and I'm with my friends all the time, and I like to sit in my room and play video games and be alone for a little bit because I'm a kid. And but teaching these things, and I feel is just something that's super important. And I feel like that's kind of a sacrifice I have to make, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And I've been able to manage my time very well the past year or two when we've really been diving into things more, especially as we've been expanding our curriculum to to teenagers, and I've been learning more and getting into it. And so I've been managing my time well, but there's still these moments where I'm like, I just want to lie down. I'm a kid, and I just want to hang out with friends. But those are some of the sacrifices you have to make a difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're grateful that you're making those sacrifices. I'm hopeful that you get to play a lot. I'm sure that you do. You have a great mom. So I want to also know, I know that you live close to Parkland, and I know that was a very difficult time, still is. We're in a different difficult time now. And the word resilience keeps coming to my mind today. Every day it's been a different word. Yesterday it was compassion. Today it's kind of resilience. There's been a lot of shifts and movements in the world of how we protect our children more. And now we're home. So, I mean, nobody feels more protected now than the parents that the kids are home.
Yeah.
I would assume that you, because of all of this work that you've done, because it is work that you've done on yourself, you can't give what you're giving to anybody unless you've done the internal work yourself. You know that. So do you feel, because I know I'll say for myself first, I wrote a book about mental health. I have been preparing for times like this for 25 years now. So do you feel like you've been a resource for even your friends?
Yeah, I think in a time like this, I think it's tough for anyone. At this point in time, at least for me, it's been over 2 months trapped inside my house with my family. And
I love that. That's the right word.
I haven't left. I walk around the block with the family. I go in the backyard, but for the most part, I'm inside. I have school. I have other stuff that I talk with my friends a lot on the phone, so we stay connected. And I've been trying to make the best of it. And when people ask me how are you doing this time, I say I'm as amazing as I can be, because that is the mentality that I feel like anyone should have in this time right now. That's what I've taken into put in my head. My friends' parents, when they ask me, "Oh, Adam, how are you? How are you doing?" I say, "You know what? I'm amazing," because I'm just trying to enjoy myself. And they're like, "Wow, I wish my son or daughter was like that too." And but I'll as jokingly as I make it, and like in a conversation with people, I think that's really true, because this is stressful and this can be an anxious time. But if you learn how to focus and be in the present moment and learn how to control your emotions, like you said, it might be difficult if you don't know how. So I go around speaking, and I think it's just something that I've kind of just put into my head because I say it so much, but hopefully I've been able to kind of put that into other people's heads too, so that in a time like this, the thunder again, so that in a time like this, they can use those tools to help with the stress levels that they might be feeling when you're trapped inside your house for 2 months.
Right. Trapped. I'm loving this word. Hashtag trapped.
Lockdown.
Or lockdown. Doesn't matter. We're living in extreme times, that's for sure. So I also really appreciated what you spoke about in your TED Talk about being a teenager and having, ridicule, which every teenager in the world faces about something, right? I certainly had my own issues as a teenager. I had very bad acne. And as a young girl, that was very difficult. And there were very mean things said to me. I never had the right vernacular of what to say. So I probably said something ridiculous. Or just went into, depression or sadness about how other people were not being necessarily kind. So in this time for teenagers, where it really is, it's such a difficult place to be with all the wonderful hormones and changes, and your voice is a little deeper than the last time I talked to you. So is Cooper's. What do you say to children today or teenagers today that that have maybe said something about what you're doing?
Yeah, I
Or thought about saying?
yeah, what I thought about saying. There was one time particularly where I was we were kind of transitioning into that period of expanding our curriculum to older kids, because I started to notice like the dog character, and I'm like maybe 13 now and 14, and I'm like I don't want like that real, associated with me every second, and but they were, oh, Wuf Shanti, and then I was like, I'd be like, I'm not I don't like talking back, and I'm not a mean guy with comebacks and stuff, but I'm thinking to myself like, imagine like yourself taking like a mindfulness class. Imagine how much it could help you, like, because you have to egg on me to try and get something out of me, but I'm not going to do that. But and I now that I've seen it firsthand, and growing up, and now I'm 16, and I'm teaching this to other teenagers, and some of them really respond to it, and now I'm fine wearing this dog character on my shirt, because everyone knows me.
You're a beacon of light, my friends. You're a beacon of light.
Yeah, they know, like, I'm Wuf Shanti, and now I'm very proud of that, and they know I'm doing good things, and I kind of take that to heart, and I think that's important,
Well, I think that positivity and kindness has taken on a whole new brand, dare I say. I think that there are more people that are pushing towards that initiative. It certainly makes for a better world to just be nice to everybody and to be kind and to not feel like you have to say anything back, but walking away. I'm sure all of these lessons were the ones that you were taught by your grandfather. And so what is next for you? I mean, I don't know. The bio was so long, I can't imagine that there'd even be something next. But what do you see for yourself for the future as you go on as Wuf Shanti, which I love, and I love the song. By the way, I did play it earlier today when I was getting ready, and I'll play it in the video somewhere. We'll put it in here. I do. I think it's fantastic. And didn't you sing that as a child?
If it's the one I think you're talking about, the diversity song,
What was the one that was?
Let's Dance Together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I did sing that when I was about 8 or 9, and then we used it for Wuf Shanti. But what's next for us? We are kind of planning so many things right now. Like I said, we've expanded our curriculum so much. We have the Mindful Kids Peace Summit. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier, but the Mindful Kids Peace Summit, we have over 70 subject matter experts and celebrities speak on topics from diversity, inclusion, communication, kindness, anti-bullying, mindfulness as a tool to deal with stress, and positive psychology, and so much more.
And when is that?
We've been airing it during my local county Peace Week, which is in September, but you can get it year round, and it's available to you. You have to pay for it year round, but it's live during that week in September annually. And we've been doing that for the past couple of years, and it's great. It's such a great tool, and we have so many great speakers, and Helen Maffini, who co-founded it with us, and she was great and kind of taught me how to do the summit and stuff. And so that's an awesome tool, and we're adding more content and doing stuff for that, so that by September we have enough more resources for the viewers and for the audience and for teenagers that want to learn more about mindfulness and stuff. So it's a great tool to use at home or in the classroom, and we're working on turning all of our speakers, what they're saying, and kind of making into like a book, a textbook, if I guess, and kind of put everything down on paper so that you can see firsthand like what they're talking about, and they give demonstrations and presentations, and it's just awesome. And hopefully we just have more stuff coming. So during this time in quarantine, hopefully we'll start thinking of more stuff, but right now that's what we got planned. So
I think it's great. I mean, I do think that all this information that you're giving out needs to be studied. These are the things that need to be taught. They need to be taught in school. They need to be taught in all the classrooms, in the Zoom classes, whatever classes they will be, when we all fully emerge back into life, because this is, but a temporary moment in time. So, Adam, I think I just can't wait to see the growth in you. I can't imagine it being that much more than what you've already done, but I would not be surprised of anything that you accomplish, because you've set your mind to it and you have great love around you, which is obvious. I'm all about Wuf Shanti. I've told many people about it. I was on a wellness summit and shouted you out the other day, and I wanted to make sure everybody was familiar with you, because I think what you are bringing to our children, and more importantly to the parents, is very, very important. So thank you for all the work that you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you for having me on today.
I am thrilled. Very, very proud of you. Thank you so much, Adam.
Thanks.